Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. In today's video, I've got a great one for you. We are going to be taking a look at my Robinhood investing portfolio, and I got to say, haven't checked it out in a while, and things are pretty interesting out there on the stock market nowadays. We've got a wave of all of these new investors coming in, and it's been really great stuff. It's inspiring to see this new wave of investors just trying to jump into the market, start making money for the first time, and there's nothing that hypes me up any more than that. So whether you want to copy me, do exactly as I do, get messed up, try acid. No, I'm just kidding. That's an Eminem line, but honestly, what I'm going to be doing is just breaking down my portfolio. I love to talk about my strategy, share everything that I'm doing alongside of you guys. So you can follow along. Again, you're going to want to do your own research when it comes to stocks and investing. I just want to talk through what I'm doing, how I'm remaining calm, and why I'm so excited that there's this brand new opportunity on the stock market that we haven't had for years. So without further ado, let's jump in. Oh my God, what's going on? No, I'm just kidding. This is exactly what I'm expecting in my portfolio right here. If you guys didn't know, I've got a number of different investments in my Robinhood investing account. If you've been following for a while, you'll pretty much know my strategy, but I've got this, which is my individual account. Right now, there's $25,000 in it. And here is my Roth IRA. And in my Roth IRA, I've got $27,940. I also have a little bit of crypto in here, $3,100. Then I've got other brokerage accounts, other investments, but I wanted to break down in this video everything that's going on with my Robinhood investing app. And I also want to talk about my approach going forward because there's a lot of opportunities. Now, let's look at the history of this, and it's going to be pretty dreary given the time period that we're in, but it's why I'm so fired up about the market. So if you look at the past day, we're down close to $700. Past week, $3,500. Past month, we're down $4,500, and 3 months, a little bit better than that, but nothing too crazy there. This is actually pretty typical for what's going on in the market right now. And if you look at my Roth IRA, very, very similar. If you look at the past day, we're down $500. Past week, we're down $3,100. Past month, $3,400. And then 3 months, we've got $3,500. So never good to see red, except if you're a young investor like myself and you've hoarded away cash trying to save for a down payment for another property. And what's going to be interesting is I'm probably going to transition a little bit and rethink my strategy with the cash that I have on the side. It might be some solid opportunities for me to transition that into the stock market given the drop that we're seeing. Now, let's first cover my Roth IRA and what I've been doing with my Roth IRA. Now, if you guys have been following me for a while, you pretty much know my strategy. I put in the max amount that you contribute to your Roth IRA right at the beginning of the year. Then I dollar cost average throughout the entire year. I literally only invest in 2 different ETFs in this portfolio. The first one is SCHD. Now, if you look at SCHD over the past 5 years, this thing is up and to the right. There's never been a real serious drop to SCHD, except if you look at in the time frame that we're in now over the past year, it is at a low for the past year, which is awesome to see because that could signify that there's going to be some solid buy-in opportunities. Now, if you ask me what's going to happen to the overall market, I think we're going to dip quite a bit more from where we're at, but I never try to time the market. And that's why I love this strategy because you can just dollar cost average into this over time. Now, the reason why I love SCHD so much is because yes, although I am investing and there is some growth over time, you can see over the past 5 years, it's up close to 60%. On top of that, you're getting some solid dividend payments because that's what it focuses on. So if I scroll down and I start to look at the history of this, you can see all the recurring buys, but yes, every quarter I am paid about a little bit over $100. And this has been stacking and compiling for years. Now, I used to host my Roth IRA in a different application, so I can't show you what it first started out as, but in this portfolio, it was as low as $58.66. And I've just been consistently investing, so now it's up over $100. So it's really, really cool to see that. And it's an investment that I'm going to continue buying into. Actually, for the rest of the year, every single day, I'm spending $14.70 in this investment. Again, that's just pulling from the max amount that I could contribute. Now, the other one that I'm always trying to beat with my different portfolios is VTI as well. Now, this kind of just traces the overall stock market. And if you look at how this is performing, it's a similar trend. Let's look at the 5 years and bang, it's up and to the right. There's not much dip except for back here, back during the COVID crash. And there was opportunities to get in there that were pretty solid, and I was doing that. And now we're getting another crash, and it's been awesome to see that you can get in at a little bit lower of a price. Now, I want to talk about the tariffs and everything, but before we do, just looking at the total return on this, again, it's washed from when I transferred it over this year. If you didn't know, when you transfer in your Roth IRA from a different brokerage into Robinhood investing, they actually get to match you up to a certain percentage. So it was literally free money. I couldn't turn it down. I think I made like $500-600 just by moving my funds in here, and that's why I did it. So the reason why a dollar cost average is made very clear by this chart, no matter when I would have invested at any point in time during this year, if it was before today, well, it was a worse buy-in opportunity than we're at right now. So no matter what happens, even these little dips that are happening, I'm investing day by day. And so, yeah, I did buy in when the stock was at its most expensive point, but we're now at a point where it's lower than it has been the entire year. And so I'm continuing to invest. And when it inevitably turns around, now I'm getting in at better buy-in opportunities. And let's say this thing absolutely craters and goes a ton lower. Well, I'm not missing opportunities to buy in as it dips. And with how volatile the market is nowadays, I think that you can't go wrong really dollar cost averaging. And it's just extremely hard to time the market again. So that's what I'm going to continue doing in this portfolio. And as I mentioned before, VTI is the one I aim to beat. So over the past year, this is only down 5.68%. When you look at my overall portfolio, I'm down 1.18%. And so overall, my investment portfolio is doing pretty solid right now. So now let's take a look at my individual investment portfolio, and we can talk about exactly what my approach has been here. Now, if you guys have been following along with my channel, you know I am a blue chip, long-term dividend buy and hold investor, and I love just receiving those passive payments over time. That's something that I've really done for a number of years, but I actually started as I was saving on the side, reallocating some of the funds and doing an approach that was a little bit different. And newsflash, it kind of bit me in the butt, but I mean, not really, I guess. What I started doing was investing weekly into QQQ. I wanted to get more tech heavy with my investments. That's been a sector that's grown like crazy over the past number of years. And it ended up dropping about 15% for me. It was relatively flat for a while because I was just investing as this thing went up. You can see over the past year, it's been cranking until the dip towards the backside of the year. So, it'll be interesting to see this one turn around. I'm still going to continue investing into it. But yeah, I started doing $100 a week back in, I think, August of last year. So almost a year at this point. And it's going to be interesting to see. I'm just going to continue doing that with this particular investment. The way I structured this portfolio was so I could just set it and forget it, and I wouldn't have to think too much about it. If you look at some of the other investments in here, they are some of the bigger, Apple, Microsoft, AbbVie, Meta. Some of these are dividend payers. Some of these are focused on growth. I've got Amazon in here. I'm kind of double dipping with what's in QQQ. And honestly, I think what I'm going to end up doing here at some point is just restructuring some of these investments to be more aligned to what I want to do with my particular investment style. And what's really interesting is right now, if you are a dividend investor, it's really, really cool because a lot of people tend to transition into those solid blue chip stocks when there's a ton of market uncertainty, a ton of volatility, because those are safe plays and they actually pay you dividends and they make you want to be more consistent with those investments. You can actually get some returns on them. And as you are getting older and you transition into retirement, you tend to go for those safer stocks as well. So, if you are approaching retirement age and you're seeing this market crash and it's affecting your retirement, again, that really is just not great. But for somebody like myself and for a lot of people that are watching this video, you are young enough to be able to finally capitalize on a dip like this. And if you ask me what I think some investments that I'm going to be targeting here in the next year and beyond, well, I actually have to do a little bit of deep dive research into what that's going to be. But personally, what I've seen the best results on my investments and what I like to do is, again, target those blue chip dividend paying stocks because I love the passive income from it. It keeps me investing more and more. And it's what I've honestly seen the best results from in all of my portfolios. As aside from chasing the numbers and going strictly after growth stocks, I've really done great with those dividend payers that I've had. So it just keeps me honest with my investing strategy. It's something that I'm definitely going to be focusing on. And then I actually want to talk about one more thing with Robinhood here. So let's pull it back up on the screen. The other thing I've been doing is investing more into crypto. So I've been doing about $50 weekly into Bitcoin. And if you look at that, it's down about 1.15%. Not too long ago, I released a video where it was up. It's interesting. If you look at what Bitcoin's doing, it's kind of tied to the market at this point. There's been a lot of regulation and more acceptance of Bitcoin. And I think what happens with that is it tends to follow the trends of the stock market. Now, I think that there's still a ton of potential in what Bitcoin can produce over time. So that's why I'm starting to invest more into it. I think that at any point in time, you should probably have some sort of allocation into Bitcoin as an investor. I think it's just wise just for the opportunity that you're going to see from it. And again, with it dipping, it's a good time to dollar cost average into something like this. And so it's pretty cool. I've got this Bitcoin here and then a little bit in some like my ledger that is not on Robinhood investing. So I've got a little bit into crypto. I'm going to continue doing that, and that's kind of my approach. So anyways, guys, I'm super excited to be back. I'm going to be ripping and tearing into the stock market, and I am going to be building these portfolios so y'all can see it. You can follow along if you want. Again, do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor by any means, but I do love showcasing everything that's going on with the growth of these accounts. Now, I've got other video breakdowns coming out. I'm going to be talking about the investments that I'm going to be making, so definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that. Thank you for checking out this video, guys, and have a great day.